Hi, I'm Lewis, also known as Skeffles, and welcome to my 23rd devlog for my tower defense game, Project Torrim. Over the last few weeks I've been working on tower designs, and last week I announced the new game theme and created tower sprites to fit. There's certainly a few changes I want to make, but mostly it's been positive, and it's been nice to receive so much positive feedback on this. I'd like to thank everyone for taking their time to like and comment on the devlog. I also want to thank all my new subscribers. Whilst I just passed the 300 subscriber milestone, I feel that number's inflated due to older videos on the channel. That said, since I started making devlogs, there has been well over 50 new subscribers, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with Project Torrim. Unfortunately, over the last few weeks, I've been neglecting to update my Trello board, in favour of just following suggestions from the comments. Now don't get me wrong, I love implementing your ideas. However, having a well-organised board is crucial to development, as it not only gets you to focus on what's necessary, but also gives you an idea of how much longer is on a project. So before I kick my development week off, I'm going to clear up my board. The board's starting to look pretty clean, and for the first time I can see a real clear path for completing this stage of the game, which should mean I'll be able to release it for testing. Before I get ahead of myself, I'll take you over what is to come. First thing first, I have a task list for new art, such as enemies and bosses. Then I have a task list to improve the game level. The third task list is to look into game balancing. The fourth is for saving and loading. The fifth covers sounds. The sixth list is to create menus, and I also have lists for bugs, suggestions, and just reviewing everything. I'm super happy the project has such a clear path now, and I'm excited to get this stage of the project sorted. As for this week's development, I've set my mind on something new. Something I've mentioned quite a few times in recent devlogs, but I have always said was out of scope, and that is a particle system. This may seem like a weird or rash decision halfway through the project, but it's something I've wanted for a while now, and now I've reorganised the board, I figured it would be a great time to slot this in. Particle systems aren't too hard to implement, and luckily I already have some experience with them. When I was in university, I created a particle system for my water fighting game, Water Ops. The system in that game came straight from R.B. Whittaker's game development wiki, which hosts plenty of great game programming resources, especially for XNA/monogame. If you're a game programmer, I highly recommend you check this site out, even if it's not in your specific language or framework, because it gives really great descriptions of what's being made, as well as code examples. So, with their particle system tutorial in mind, I'm going to implement a particle system for my game engine. It's been a few days and the particle system implementation is coming along very nicely. I began by creating a particle class. Particles are very simple objects that can change things such as position, rotation and scale over their lifespan. I then created a particle emitter class to create and manage these particles. Using a particle definition struct, it randomly generates unique particles. As a result, when I place an emitter into my game, it will generate particles based on parameters I can give it. For example, I could have a lot of particles. I could limit the amount of particles. Or I could have the particles behave in a specific way. With this in place, I can now tweak parameters for particle emitters and add them to various places in my game. I've now implemented a couple of different particle emitters. This was pretty straightforward except for a small rewrite I had to do for frame rate independence. The first particle system is for the slowdown tower. This just spews blue particles across the entire area that the tower covers, to indicate to the player that the enemy will slow down in this area. The second particle system is a trail for tower projectiles to emphasise the movement of the projectile. This system looks awesome and I'm so happy I've implemented this in my game engine. I'll be planning on using it for a lot of games, and I no longer have to get jealous of great particle systems that I see in other devlogs. What do you think of these effects? Where else should I put a particle system? Let me know in the comments below. I'm super excited to see where this takes the game, and hopefully I can use it in my next devlog when I'm participating in Ludum Dare 47 Game Jam. I'm hoping it'll be fun. Thank you for watching this devlog. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave the video a like and subscribe to keep up to date with the progress on Project Torrim. Thank you and goodbye.